What we're dealing with here is a total lack of respect for the law.
One of the things we do with a lot of these plans is, and I mentioned hazard-specific plans like coastal storm, and then all-hazard plans like evacuation. Evacuation is an all-hazard plan. You don't know why you're evacuating, but you know you're going to have to evacuate. So we've done that kind of thinking, how we're going to get people out of the city of New York, working with the police department, working with, turning roadways around, working with, the best egresses out of the city. And so, between things like evacuation plans, logistics plans, how am I going to get food, water, medicine to people, we have all hazards plans that cover, we think, most scenarios. And it is coordinated with the federal government, obviously. The federal government, in many situations, is sitting there with us. FEMA comes in, the Department of Homeland Security comes in and sits with us. In the past, we've opened up for the Republican National Convention. And during an event like that, the Secret Service is actually in charge of the event in the city. And so we've had the Secret Service in, the FBI's been in,
Something I was kind of wondering about was, I think that we have cameras on maybe important traffic areas, yes, like tunneling and bridges and things like that?
Maybe.
Let me answer this way. There's an enormous amount of connectivity and information that comes into that building.
Sure, cameras are everywhere, and we have DOT cameras, and certainly we're proliferation of cameras in major urban cities is growing and growing, and we're working to sort of consolidate those feeds so that they can be distributed, efficiently.
As I showed you before, our previous emergency operations center was at 7 World Trade Center. And on that day I was in the office, the first plane hit, we started to open up the emergency operations center. We activated. We started to call people in, say, come on. And we had quite a few people there when the second plane hit. And then the commissioner and the building management decided we needed to evacuate the building. So we did evacuate the building. And at that point we had lost our emergency operations center.
But it is the Joint Information Center, and on a really big job like 9/11, we'll bring all the press guys, all the press people into one specific room and start to manage the message, because again, this is all about information and communication. And we put them all in the room, and they start doing things like crafting the message, getting the information out to people. One of the first things that Mayor Giuliani did after 9/11 was get to a camera as soon as he took care of himself physically, to tell people what happened.
And we were operating out of there when we were told that the World Trade Center was going to collapse.
People crave information during emergencies, and so your ability to get that information out to people will affect your success. And so we put folks in to this joint information system, not only to create the message, but also to monitor what the press is saying. So we have a bank of TVs, and they're watching what the press is reporting, because if they're reporting something that's inaccurate, we want to get to them soon to correct it. Much, but as I say, and if you've been through a few of these things, you really don't know what's going to work. And so to have those diversities, especially because we're in the game of information. This whole thing was about control of information and the flow of information. Where am I? Where are the things I'm concerned about? Where's the closest school if I need to do some sheltering? Where's the closest fire department, police department?
Thank you. I'm really afraid of some questions. Okay, if I ask you a specific question? Sure. Okay. There's a part where you use, the part where, for emergency, we'll use schools and or stuff like that. But why don't we just use the FEMA camps, the 800 FEMA camps that are built? FEMA camps. Federal emergency management camps.
We'll put them out here.
Well, they're located in every city, Rec City 4.
Right, but the city of New York is going to support, the citizens of,
But they don't
I'm not
want...
sure what you're talking about.
You don't know about FEMA camps?
No.
It's in Rec City 4?
Rec City 4?
Federal Emergency Management camps. Each one holds 20,000 people. Why don't we use those for emergency?
Well, because the city of New York is a very dense area, and so that we don't have the space to set up large.
So what are they built for?
So they're probably built for the other places that don't have emergency.
Okay. So, but they can hold up to, total they can hold 24 million people.
I'm not familiar with it.
Okay, and also, last one is, did you guys decide to use...
Is he filming?
Yes.
Okay, that's not okay.
Well, I already told you you were...
No, you said you were asking me some questions.
I am asking questions. And,
It has to be another
we're...
question.
Okay.
But did you have to tell me I'm just shy?
I just have to. Do you want me not to read?
No, I don't want to.
Okay, then we'll just hold it.
Okay, sorry, I mean nothing.
Nathan.
Hey, what, you got a card?
Nope. Lost my wallet. That's all there. Hey guys. We just want to say we know 9/11 was an inside job, and we know that World Trade Center 7 fell in 6.5 seconds, and your crimes will come out. Even if you are not involved in it, covering up the truth will put you as high treason. You know that, sir. You should do the right thing and repent, please. You should do the right thing. Have you seen your own building fall, sir, that you worked in? I got it on my iPod if you'd like to see it. It will never make you.
All right, thanks for
Okay,
coming.
take care.
Later.
Nice to see you. Yeah.
Sorry. I got it on camera anyways. This is your building falling, sir. 6.5 seconds. That's impossible. A building has never fallen because of fire. What do you say to that? We're not going to stop. We're approaching every single guy that's involved in this fire.
Yeah, so don't feel like we're exposing you.
If you don't repent and expose the crimes that you were involved in, even if you were just quiet about it, you were involved in the crime, sir. You know the Constitution's Bill of Rights. You will not destroy that. You will not create the North American Union, and your crimes will be exposed unless you decide to expose them yourself. You have a good day. I hope you do this right.
Colonel North, in your work at the NSC, were you not assigned at one time to work on plans for the continuity of government in the event of a major disaster?
Mr. Chairman.
I believe that question touches upon a highly sensitive and classified area, so may I request that you not touch upon that, sir.
I was particularly concerned, Mr. Chairman, because I read in Miami papers and several others that there had been a plan developed by that same agency, a contingency plan in the event of emergency that would suspend the American Constitution. And I was deeply concerned about it and wondered if that was the area in which he had worked. I believe he was,
I most
confirmation.
respectfully request that that matter not be touched upon at this stage.